Hello students, today in your geometry class we're going to be working on the midsegments of triangles. Now, at the end of this lesson you should be able to determine the midsegments of a line. Now before we start, it's important that we go over the definition of a midsegment. Now the midsegment of a triangle is created when the midpoints of two sides of a triangle are connected. The midsegment is parallel to the base and its measure is 1/2 the measure of the base. So in English and with a picture, let's explain that a little bit further. It says that if we have a triangle like so, and we pick the midsegment of two sides of a triangle, any two sides. So let's say I chose these two sides, and I connected them. It says that if I labeled this line segment X and this other one Y, it essentially states that line segment X is equal to 1/2 the measure of angle Y. So essentially you take what the line segment for Y, the measure of it, and you divide it into, or you take half of it, and that's what X is. This theorem tells us that line segment X is parallel to line segment Y. And that'll come in handy a little bit more later. So let's just start. In example 1, you'll notice that the base is 18, and they want you to find X. Well, since X is the midpoint, and you know it's the midpoint because if we look at the sides, these segments are split in half and they're congruent to each other. Now because this is true, it means that X is equal to 1/2 of 18, which obviously is 9. Now 2 looks a little bit trickier, but it's exactly the same. It says that line segment X minus 1 is equal to 1/2 of line segment whose measure is 45. Now, all we need to do is take half of the measure of 45, so that's 22.5, and then we're going to add 1 to both sides to isolate the X, and we get X is equal to 23.5. That's it. Example 3, it's the same exact idea. It looks different because it's tilted, but it's the same principle. Now, we're going a little backwards here. It gives us the midsegment. It says the midsegment is 4. So if the midsegment is 4, then the base needs to be double that, because obviously it's bigger. So we can say that 5x minus 2 is equal to twice 4. So 5x minus 2 equals 8. We're going to solve for x by adding 2 to both sides. We get 5x equals 10. Divide 5 to everything. We get x is equal to 2. So now we've solved for 2. Let's try one more example. This one is slightly spicier. It's really important though that when they give you points and they give you measurements that you mark it down. It says points E, D, H are midpoints. So E, D, H are midpoints. Therefore we have midsegment formula. It says midsegments of triangle TUV. It says UV, this bottom portion. And I always like to highlight it so it's a little bit easier to see. It says UV. This measure is 80. And it says TV. TV is 100. And it says HD. HD is this line right here. We're going to do this in green. It says that HD is 80. So now that we have everything labeled, all they're asking us to do is find TU, which is this line segment right here. It should be easy because TU is the base of the mid-segment that relates to 80, which is this one. So if this is 80, then that must mean TU is equal to 2 times the measure of HD. And because HD is 80, that means TU is equal to 160. And then we're done. Now it's your turn. I want you to solve problems 1 and 2 and post them to Edmodo. First person will post, everyone else will just reply. That's it for now. See you guys next time.